Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video from Fountain Pen World. It has been quite a time, maybe 3 weeks, 1 month. So I'm back and with several tasks which I want to cover in this video, speak about. The first thing is I bought a Lamy Accent fountain pen. A fountain pen which is in production since 1998, so 27 years on the market already. And then I want to compare some maybe wannabe italics, nibs, how they write, how they perform. Maybe quite interesting for you to see. But this is a task for later, so let's put these fountain pens away. And concentrate on the Lamy Accent. I started this video already, but I had to stop because my hands were spilled with ink when I dismantled the Lamy Accent. It's opening with half a turn only. Here you can see that, and yeah, there is a lot to say about this pen, not about the pen itself, but what is interesting here, this kind of wooden grip section can be interchanged. You can buy, I don't know if you still can buy those, but they should be available, those section grips in different materials, wood, steel, colors, whatever. It's quite nice. So the reason why I bought this fountain pen, and here you see how to put it back, screw it, and again there is a lot of ink screwing the whole thing together. Get it tight. Okay, so this time not so much ink on my finger. Anyway, why I bought a Lamy. I have a Lamy 2000, which is quite a nice pen in my book. I enjoy writing with it, but it has a standard nib, and the so-called Z50 nibs, standard nibs from Lamy for nib swapping, don't fit into the Lamy 2000. So I took the dive for this fountain pen. I got it at a quite good price, but still I overpaid, even though it was a good price. And I bought a Lamy. Well, maybe it is an original Lamy. I'm not sure, because I got it from a dealer in China at a very, very good price, and the nib is performing absolutely well. I'm not sure. Yeah, here you can see better. There is Lamy and 1.1, and you see, I'm really not sure if this is a real italic or a cursive italic or just a stub nib, due to the round edges over here. You may see that. Yeah. Anyway, the pen itself is quite lightweight, I would say. It's not really very, very heavy. Let me give you the dimensions. Capped, it is 143.8 millimeters with 24 grams weight, but not inked. So maybe you add one gram for the ink, which means one milliliter. Uncapped, it is 121.4 millimeter, which is quite a nice size, to be honest. Let's go back here. I like to write it to write with it unposted. It is also postable, and you see here this I don't know, nib pin. Push it on, and you hear this is really very secure. So it gives you a quite nice length. It is really not how to say overweight, backweight. Absolutely not. So that's this. Put the nib away, the cap away. What's more to say, the diameter grip here at the very end is roughly 12.5 millimeters, and the middle part is here 30 millimeters, so you see there is a little bulk somehow. Yeah, you can see a bulk, and the rest of the pen, including the cap, is straight. So all in all, it's very subtle here in the middle part. I like that very much. It's comfortable, at least to me. And I talked about the exchangeable wooden parts section. You can get also from metal, as I said, different colors. But I don't know where. Here in Thailand, not, for sure not. I come to that later. And this thing has a so-called Z27 converter. That means the converter, again, my God, I'm sorry for this mess. Can't help it, but I had to prime the converter because the ink flow was very bad. So the point here is the converter, the Z28, which is most probably the most common converter, has some notches for alignment in the cheaper Lamy fountain pens like the Safari. So a model like this, only this is a Jinhao 777. And I didn't know that because the pen came without the converter, without a cartridge, and I am fighting still with the supplier to send this to me. They are dragging their feet and finding excuses everywhere, but I don't let go. A fountain pen of this, in this price range, which is roughly 90 euros on the, or maybe a little bit higher than 90 euros on the Lamy website. This is unacceptable, over $100. Even though I got it at $45, or 45 euros, but this doesn't matter. The price ranges here in Thailand are different from the Western price ranges, given the value of the Thai baht and everything, and they have to. Lamy is not a cheap Chinese counterfeit product. They have to follow standards, some certain standards, when they are selling products like Lamy. And so enough of taking away and taking apart all these things. I didn't expect that my fingers will be stained like that. As I said, I had to prime the converter, which I also had to buy separately, but at a much lower price. Coming to that later. Because the viscosity or the ink flow was not sufficient. And after I cleaned the entire nib feed and converter with the dishwasher solution, it behaved much better. Yeah, it behaved so good that the ink, that there is a lot of ink in the feeder now, but I don't care not too much about that. The pen itself is nice. So coming to the prices I paid. By the way, this Z28 converter, which is the wrong one because of the nipples or whatever you call it, I just sanded them down with a Dremel tool. Within 3 minutes, the thing was perfectly fitting. So there is no because they are trying to sell here those converters at a higher price, the Z27 versus the Z26. So, coming to the prices, I paid in baht 1,685 for the pen, which is roughly 45 euros, $53. And in the Western markets, this thing goes up to 90 euros or $109. So, yeah, quite a bargain, even though it came without cartridge and converter. And as I said, I'm still fighting with them. With the importer, which is a Swiss company, by the way, and with the seller on the internet platform Lazada, who are affiliated somehow, or most probably a family business, whatever. And I'm also trying to contact Lamy Germany, so far no reply, and DKSH, the Swiss mother company in Zurich, in Switzerland, letting them know how their company in Thailand is acting. Absolutely not acceptable, but it's usual here. Delaying tactics all the time and outright lies in order to keep the people away from claiming. And it works with the locals because the locals are trained in that way, not to claim in first place, and if they claim, to accept every bullshit. I'm sorry to say that, but it's right. After 20 years living in this country, I know it. So I think enough spoken about that. Yeah, by the way, I bought the ink bottle, the T10 in blue, at 188 baht. This is euro 570 or dollars 590, compared to the Western prices of 12 to 20 euros for 50 milliliters. Can't complain too much. The converter, Z28, as I said, the wrong one, but I sanded it down, was 78 baht, which is roughly €2.10 or $2.5. and the prices in Thailand for this converter from official channels, whenever I hear official I get red spots, is 160 to 190 baht. Yeah, how to make money. The nib, as I said, it's a replacement nib, a 1.1. I bought at 103.5 baht, which is 2.77 euros or $3.25. And compared to the European prices, it's up to 7 to 16 euros or up to $16, depending where you look, where you buy, where you choose to buy. So all in all, I paid for the additional parts 370 baht, which is 10 euros or $12. And the fountain pen, as I said, 45 euros, $53, compared to 90 euros or $109 in the Western market. Okay, let's cover the first part, or let's I'm sorry. So you see, I invested heavily, following an idea from my friend Une Fontaine de Plume, who told me about prices of Rhodia paper, which is a very nice paper, absolutely. And so let's say this is the 1.1 Italic or stub. I'm not sure what it is. This is the Lamy Accent. Upstrokes, downstrokes, side strokes, quite big, I would say. And it depends also on the angle. With all these nibs, which I'm going to show to you, it really depends on the angle, how they perform on the paper and the lines, and I found that out, but it's quite interesting. You just have to remember how to keep the nib in order to, and how to put the nib in what angle to the paper in order to get nicer lines, more flair to your lines. Let's see here. Let's just use the word aurora. By the way, this is Lamy blue, and the paper is Rhodia, as you can see. No? I think that was me, because the ink flow is really much better, and some reverse writing. Also the word aurora. I have to say, in reverse writing, with thinner lines, of course, and I like the outcome of the lines. It's more italic than with the normal. I did a little bit of sanding down, try to make it more crisp, more sharp, but the outcome was not very, very interesting. So, and now to the fountain pens which I have chosen. Recently I bought a set of so-called calligraphy nibs, cheap Chinese, cheap in every view, the cheap price, but also a cheap material, cheap nibs, cheap metal, but with a lot of, well, with some grinding, self DIY grinding. The outcomes are not that bad. So this is basically a snap-on, and the name is See My Art. Chinese brands. Well, we shouldn't be surprised about the slaughtering of the English language or foreign languages by Chinese. And this is the M calligraphy nib, what they say. I'm trying to, or I'm thinking about to make another video about this set. It came in XF, F, M, and B, and all nibs. Let me show you a better. Focus, yeah. You see here, I sanded this a little bit down, but it's not really. I sanded this a little bit down, but with all nibs which I received, none of them was writing as imprinted on the nib. So the XF nib was something like B, M to B. The F nib was something like B. The M nib was between F and M, and the B nib is a 1.5 stub calligraphy italic. The extra fine and the fine, I did much more sanding. The M nib only a little bit, because it was the best performing nib. And the B nib, yeah, the B nib is really can be used for calligraphy, absolutely. So see my art as maybe look at my art. The next one, where it all started with, is that, going back a little bit, is that Jinhao Lamy clone of a Safari, Lamy Safari. The Jinhao model number is 777, and I got them for free. I didn't buy them, not because I'm hesitating to buy clones or something like this. I don't care about that, honestly. But I got this for free a few years ago. I barely touched it, but I remembered that when I touched it for the first time. So let's see here, Jinhao 777. That is a former XF nib or EF. Also a Jinhao brand, Jinhao. but they are interchangeable with the Lamy, original Lamy fountain pens, which are taking these Z50 nibs. And I remember I did a regrind. I cut off here the extra fine tip, and then tried to send it down to a stub or italic. Let's see how it performs. Downstrokes. Maybe I'm going. Yeah, this is better for you. And here you see already how big the lines are. That happened after I tried to remove the nib, looking if I could swap the nibs with this Lamy Accent. Yes, I can, but suddenly also the feeder came apart. And after I reassembled the feeder and the nib, suddenly the ink flow was much bigger, and so I got fatter lines, and more ink is going to be put on the paper. Let's see. So some side strokes, and here some side strokes. You see, quite big. Let's say, do you get it? Yes. And reverse. There's also, again, in my book, a little bit more flair to it. Upstrokes, downstrokes, side strokes don't work, but here. And let's do a couple of figure eights. Quite nice. And here you see the difference is the lines are smaller. And for comparison, the Aurora. I could use also other fountain pen names, but this is short, and so going back to zoom 1. So now this is the Kanwrite. I do an abbreviation, KW. This is the Italic M. I showed that in a former video already. Unfortunately, the fountain pen here is a legacy model. And the Kanwrite legacy and heritage models have their own nib units. They are coming always with an ebonite feed, which is sometimes putting too much ink on the paper. So Italic M. So this is really what they say crisp. I only did a few strokes in order to sharpen it a little bit more, like in this, how to say, like on sandpaper, and even on a knife sharpener on a stone. Just a few strokes, 3, 4, 5, and then trying to see what the result, or seeing what the result is. It works much better, and it's coming more to an italic style. Let me see. Going back to So this is upstroke, this is downstroke. Putting it a little bit higher, the angle. And then reverse writing. Upstrokes, downstrokes. Much smaller, you see, but very nice. I have to say I'm more satisfied sometimes with the flare, the outcome of the lines coming closer to an italic nib. That's why I say wannabe italics. Okay, this is now the Kanwrite KW Italic B. By the way, this one is this one is a Yovo unit. With a plastic feed, ABS plastic feed. Putting not so much ink on the paper. The pen is a Delamoon Majestic Art Craft, which I presented also a few months ago. I have two of them. It's an Indian one-man show who is producing fountain pens, really handmade, at absolutely fair, reasonable prices. Nothing overpriced as it is usual with so many Indian brands, and also no adders on the transportation fee, shipping fee. The man is a great artist, but unfortunately he lacks some management skills, but you can't have everything. Okay, let's see. Upstrokes, downstrokes. Side strokes. Some figure eights. And here it is really about the angle with this nib. And reverse writing. Yeah, you see, the ink flow is not that couple of figure eights and Aurora. It's not keeping up very well. Yeah, well, it's keeping up, but the lines are very thin. But I do like that. I do like that. And the last one, yeah, I think this is a real nib. This is a pilot. Music nib. No. Would you kindly cooperate? Pilot music nib. I think I showed it sometimes, but I don't get tired of showing it more. So don't ask me what model it is. I think it's a 723. I'm not sure. Strokes, side strokes. And then reverse. Already much thinner lines. Down strokes, up strokes. Couple of eights. And oh, I like that very much. I like the outcome, and I like the outcome of all these, let's say, of all these lines, of all these line variations, of all these line. The Jinhao is nice. Is seamiart is also not bad, to be honest. The Jinhao is great. What I forgot with the seamiart is where is it here? This is me, because under the camera writing. Those samples with this so-called B-nib, which is really a 1.5 millimeter, that is really impressive, I have to say. And I think I'm really going to make a video about just only about this seamiart calligraphy set. It was cheap, 81 baht, so roughly $3 to $4, and I think you can get it on, well, maybe on Amazon, maybe on other platforms. So let's see how this performs in reverse writing. Changing the angle a little bit. So, just to give you the full picture. 1.1 Italic stub from Lamy. You see my art, M calligraphy nib, Jinhao 777, which is really a self-grind, the Kanwrite Italic M and the Kanwrite Italic B, and at the end the Pilot music nib. Let's go to 2, zoom 2, maybe I can make that better. I hope I do not bother you too much with this. Full picture. It's a little bit, naja, anyway. So I hope the video is not was not too much boring. But I thought you'll just give it a shot. And with all the problems, I do not regret having bought this fountain pen at this price, and even the additional expenditures. The pen is worth it. It's really a very nice pen. It's a solid pen. It's a sturdy pen. It's not a copy or whatever. And compared to those All-Star or whatever Lamy has to offer in their lower price segments, this pen is a looker. Aesthetics, I like it. Maybe you like it as well. And if you don't have it, try to find a dealer with reasonable prices. Thank you very much for your attention. We are already at 41 minutes. Take care. Please stay healthy wherever you are and enjoy your fountain pens, of course. Take care. Bye-bye.